Hey everybody, welcome to Additional Ink. This is our relaunch of the Ink Tank, our Lorcana podcast. We're going to call it Ink Tank 1.7. So part of this relaunch is we're going to have more faces. We are now going to do this remotely so that you can meet more members of the Additional Ink family, get some more feedback, and we can diversify those voices a little bit. We're also going to be putting this on other platforms, not just here on YouTube. So I really hope you guys enjoyed and hanging out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce the rest of my co-hosts for the night. So you guys know Maddie Inks. Over there in the, on my end, he's over here. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm somewhere. I'm floating around. That's what I do. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. We're going to kind of go down the line.
Sure, yeah. So I'm Maddie Inks. You have probably seen me in a few reveal videos from the Additional Ink YouTube channel and other gameplay content. As far as my involvement with Lorcana, I started playing in set 3. I was collecting since set 1, but I started actively playing in set 3 and competitively started throwing my hat in the ring set 4. With Blue Steel, actually. My first CCS was a Blue Steel with like Cogsworth and Tinkerbells and Hiram. It was a good time. So,
R.I.P. Cogs.
R.I.P. Cogs. Yeah, holding out.
All right. Mr. Basil, how about you?
Hey, greetings. Majo Basil here. I apologize. I've got a little cold. I won't always sound like this, but yeah, I would say, I've been playing Lorcana, since it came out. As far as my history with TCGs, I would say the one I really played the most competitively was maybe a little bit of Flesh and Blood. I did also get into Star Wars Destiny, quite a bit. And I was pretty, that was a big part of my life for a while. I was actually part of the continuation committee. So I'm sure you all know, right? When a TCG is announced as canceled, the sort of phenomenon that happens in the TCG world is gamers say, no, we want to continue this on, right? We're going to form a continuation committee. And I was actually a part of that. It was called A Renewed Hope. And it's still going. I just kind of retired from it. But I used to go to Gen Con and host events. And but yeah, that's kind of where I got, a lot of experience and love of the TCG space. So yeah, happy to be a part of this podcast here and just loving Lorcana. So it was so awesome to meet all you guys in Milwaukee. So but yeah, that's me.
All right. How about you, Mr. Oceans?
Hello, Ocean's Tempest. With my TCG experience, I started playing tabletop Magic in about 2008, playing very, very, very casually. I took a break for a minute from playing Magic, and then about 2019, I began to pick it up again. My mom said she was going to throw away my cards, and I was like, whoa, chill. That ain't for me. So I got all my Magic cards back, and then I got super into it, playing Commander, going to locals, meeting all kinds of people. And it was actually very beneficial to me because I moved around from intern to intern after college, and being able to play Magic with different people allowed me to meet and really develop friends and new relationships along the way, which is really exciting. I transitioned into Lorcana because the people I played Magic with said I got a little too competitive. So I needed some form of competitive outlet, and I picked up Lorcana in about set 3. A few weeks into the game, I top 6 for the first set champs, and then I top 4 the second. And then from there, I've just been playing nonstop.
Nice. Now, Mr. Chasen.
Hey, I'm Chasen Lore. I started playing Lorcana around Chapter 1 when it first came out. Started playing competitively around Set 3 because Bucky discard was the best thing in the world ever happened to me. Rest in peace, Bucky. But I started playing competitively around Set 3. It's where I met most of these people, Jeff specifically. But as time goes on, I just try to get better and better. But that's my little bit about my Lorcana history. Just very simple, but still trying to get better as the years go by.
All right, so as you can see, our Additional Ink community has grown. Those of you who've been with the channel, been following us, we've had, we do a lot of in-person gameplay, but all of the, from Majo to Oceans to Chasen and others that you haven't met yet, I've met them through the course of playing Lorcana. Oceans and Majo, we got love for Blue Steel. That's how we met. We met finally in Milwaukee for the first time. Chase and I met up at CCS in Atlanta, along with some others. And we've all just kind of decided to come together, and we've had Additional Ink going on we've kind of been playing as a group, but now we're just going to kind of expand that family a little bit. And so everybody's got some great inputs and great thoughts. So that's where we are today. And yeah, so that's where we're at. I feel like somebody's going to walk in here in like half a second. I'm so sorry.
3, 2.
All right. So let's talk about Milwaukee a little bit, right? Because we were all there. So one of my highlights from Milwaukee was meeting a lot of my friends that I had, a lot of my internet friends, quote unquote, Blue Steel family, hashtag not a cult. Also the people that I met last year. And it was just fun to be back in person with everybody after so long from a break from DLCs. And I believe, Major, it was your first DLC?
It was. Yeah, man, it was my first DLC. I got that ticket with your help. So which I greatly appreciate. So, no, it was awesome, man. It was pretty surreal. You know, step 1 was get the ticket. Step 2 was convince my wife to let me go. And step 3 was make it out there. So, no, it was awesome, dude. I had a great time. It was, you know, great to meet you and Tempest. And, you know, I'd already known you guys pretty well. And then, you know, Chasen and Maddie. It was kind of surreal, Maddie, you know, meeting you or sort of seeing you from the you know, the Additional Ink channel. I couldn't wait to hear that detective, you know, voice, you know.
The accent.
The accent. It was great. It was great. So you are Detective Maddie now, forever in my mind.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So.
Yeah. No, I'm messing around. I mean, I've talked to you about it. I'm messing around with a detective list right now. So we'll see if it gets any legs, but that's a conversation for another time, I'm sure.
Yeah, right on.
And Tempest, it was your first DLC as well?
It was my second. My first one was Fort Worth. I took Blue Steel.
I was there too, and I took Blue Steel as well. And I saw none of the green steel I wanted to see all day.
I saw 2.
Same.
And yeah, lots of splits.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of splits. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went 1-1-7. 1 win, 1 loss, 7 splits.
I don't remember my exact record. I think I ended in like the 200 something range in ranking for that one, but it was pretty abysmal.
Yes, you guys have been to a DLC that had 2 game format, and then of course one that had best of 3. I mean, how do you rate them each?
So there's a lot of players. I think with 2 game format, I feel like the games are incomplete, right? But realistically, they are complete because it's just 2 games. I do feel like the meta that we just played in Milwaukee was designed for a 2 game format. Because like they decided on what they were rotating and all that, while 2 game format was probably still a thing for DLCs. And so that meta being very die rolly, who gets their cards, who's on the play, who's on the draw, felt like it was designed for 2 game format.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think the meta that you were in with Fabled and possibly even now is very, very much geared toward that. And I think when we were playing Best of 2 last season, because I went to Seattle, so that is the other one that I've gone to for reference. And it really the meta really felt like a Best of 3 meta, because that's what everyone was doing at set champs. Like set champs were Best of 3, and so you would prep with that in mind, and then you go to these Best of 2 games, and it's like, okay, I just got high rolled by aggro, and now I can't win, and now I just like tank in my rankings, right? And it's just kind of unfortunate it kind of fell the way it did. And it's not like an overall criticism, but it is interesting to note that like the meta was geared more for one, and then we were in a different type of format for each one. But I think a lot of it had to do with when they were shifting to the Best of 2 format way back. We were still in a Best of 3 meta, and there was a lot of concern about it, and so they backed down, and then we kind of got stuck in a Best of 2 meta, or like a Best of 3 meta with a Best of 2. Or sorry, we got stuck in a Best of 3 format with a Best of 2 meta, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like juggling words around. I feel like I almost had a stroke there. Sorry, guys. But like...
just flip it and reverse it.
You're good. If you're... anyway, I can only say that much so we don't get copyright stuff. But yeah, I think you get the point I'm trying to make there, though.
Yeah, I remember we had conversations in Seattle where it was like, okay, so if you brought your deck that you normally played at set champs, whatever the case was, unless you got a favorable matchup, there was a lot of times you did split. But those people that brought those polarizing decks for the 2-game format, they made day 2 easily.
Yep.
But then they struggled in the top cut when it switched to best of 3 format.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of it's just kind of like teching your deck now, right? Do I tech for this one deck and lose my percentage points of the other deck? But it was teching for the format, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Jason, did you play any of the previous DLCs, or was Milwaukee your first one as well? I don't remember.
Milwaukee was technically my first one that actually like played the official event in. I did go to Atlanta just because, I think it was one of the first ones. I went there just to see how it was, to look around. I didn't play in the main event. I just saw the side events, looking around and see how many people was there, which was insane about how many people were there at the time. But no, Milwaukee was my first official DLC that I played in.
Atlanta had like extra chaos because there was MomoCon going on too.
Yeah, right next door. And I was like, all right, so you can choose between going to the Lorcana DLC or going to MomoCon. You're going to have a good day, I guess. But no, Milwaukee, I never got to experience the 2-game format officially in a DLC. But I will say, personally, I do prefer the 3-game format. I guess it's just my play style, I guess, per se. But every time I played 2-game formats, just like regular stores, or like if I travel somewhere and they're playing 2-game format, personally, it does feel like what's called incomplete, like you said, and it feels pretty bad when you're going the whole day going splitting. So I was definitely happy they changed the DLC to 3-game format, just specifically because I felt like at the end of the day, like it was complete.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of people overall are happy with the change to the 3-game format. Now, as far as like the way they're cutting the top in this time, like I know there's some back and forth there. Like last time it was 64, it felt a lot more generous. And I think a huge problem with the 2-game format was the extra bonus point you got for 2-0ing. If that wasn't there, splitting would not feel as bad.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of, like other podcasts or content creators that it seems like the consensus is that they'd be fine with 2-game format, maybe returning, but without that bonus point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I know that was a big sticking point, but I don't really have any good experience with 2-game format, but with best of 3, you just have so much, opportunity to mulligan correctly, to adapt to, whatever your opponent's deck or strategy is. And, being able to do that over the course of 3 total games, in theory, should really get rid of most of the variants. Always going to be some variants, but I know, especially with Blue Steel, right? It's just one of those decks that really is rewarded in a best of 3 format. So
when you have more agency.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, really, just mid-range and control decks in general need that best of 3, right?
Yeah, that's
because you need that first game to see what you're up against. Because that's where your skill, your skill differential comes out, right? When someone can look at the first game and go, okay, how do I pivot for the next 2 to make sure I get the best 2 out of 3 here?
Unless you're me in Seattle and you take Blue Steel items and you hit a wave of red-blue for 6-7 rounds, and your opponent sits down after like the third one, and you've already split 3 times, and they go, "I'm going to 2-0 you," and like, no, we're splitting this guy. This is what's happening all day long.
Yep.
So, oh man, that was not a fun. It was a fun weekend, but that red, I kept hitting all the red blue that was getting knocked down from the top tables by the green steel, and I just could not punch through it.
Yeah, that was a very interesting meta at the time, for sure.
I got a question for you guys. So in Milwaukee, I didn't think I would have this reaction, seeing essentially content creators, right? They're like celebrities within our community. And I was quite excited to meet Lorcana Villain. And Baker, I was just like, man, what a cool dude. I did not anticipate that reaction in myself, like actually feeling as if this guy, just seems like a cool dude, right? You kind of felt like a celebrity, but I went up to him, got a photo, said hello, introduced myself, and I just was not expecting that. It was just like a cool little interaction. So, who did you guys get a chance to meet and maybe have an interaction that was cool or unexpected, or something that was kind of stood out for you?
I mean, I definitely met a lot of really cool people and saw a lot of people I'd met previously again. I think one of the coolest moments for me, and it just speaks as to how nice these guys are in person, like, because you hear about these pro players and you're like, oh, they're probably just like on this different level and don't really like come down to everyone else's level and exist there. But no, they do. Like I remember I sat next to Sailor at a CCS because our last names are very close, and he actually remembered a conversation we had about like the watch he was wearing that day. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember we like sat down and like we were talking. It was just nice to catch up with them. And he was like, yeah, the thing I love about these events is we get to like see people again and see all of our friends again in person that like we don't get to see all the time, maybe like once a season or once a year or whatever. And that sentiment was very much there, like despite, because I know like there might be some talk about like how the event was run and all that kind of stuff, but despite all of that, the sense of camaraderie among the majority of the player base was incredible to see and experience and watch. I'd say the other cool moment for me was the Infinity Side event. And I bumped into R&B and we were just sitting there talking about how we were going to do the event. And then I looked down at my phone and I'm like, oh, hey, guess what? We're paired up. So let's go over there, I guess. And it was really funny, the serendipity of that whole moment. And then he gave me a masterclass on Blue Steel and it was really fun. So yeah, nice. that was one of the highlights of my time. So anyway, I talk a lot. Anyone else?
Yeah, following up on that, you said the camaraderie. So I'm in Florida. I used to go to SSG tournaments, and there's a lot of very skilled players that would go there. And so over time, you like befriend them and get to know them. And now you get to see them again at these big tournaments. You get the opportunity to see the people you don't get to talk to on a daily basis. You don't see the locals that you normally see. So it's like really reconnecting, and yeah, you're there to play this card game and compete and stuff, but a large portion of it is like the friends you make along the way type thing. And so it's a really great opportunity to like reconnect with everyone. Mm-hmm. Going off of Majo's question of like someone I wanted to see was Bad Vegas, and Sky, because Sky is the father of the no wheel list for Blue Steel. And Vegas was one of the people that kind of got me into that deck. And so having the opportunity to ping ideas back and forth with them over the course of set 5, 6, and 7, and then being able to meet them in person, get their signatures on my playmat cards, like it was a really cool opportunity to be like, I invested so much effort and time into deck building and theory crafting with these people, but finally getting to meet them. And it was even cooler that there's a lot of Blue Steel people we've connected with community, and that's how a lot of us gotten close together. But throughout the Milwaukee tournament, there was like, I think round 4 at the 3-0 table, I saw Jack Shadows, R&B, and another one Blue Steeler next to us. And then I think round 5, I was sitting next to Vegas and Thunder. And so it was like throughout the tournament, the people that I talk to on a daily basis are sitting directly next to me. And I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and shout out to the Blue Steel family, because that was the first time I got to meet a lot of them in person too. And just the support in between rounds, even for people not doing well, like they didn't even care, because there's just so much love shown throughout the community. Again, hashtag not a cult. But I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to shout out the Blue Steel community because it's so awesome. But I echo, it was so good to see you familiar faces again. Like I walked with you guys to go over to meet Lorcana Villain, and like Liam, who I've from Illumineers I've met previously, like ran up, gave me a hug. Seeing JDZ again. But one of the cool things for me was this was the first DLC since we've launched additional ink that I've been to. And I was playing a match in round 4, and like it's a grind fest. I'm Blue Steel, they're blue green. We're going back and forth. The guy's like from London. We go to game 3. I end up getting the game, and then out of nowhere, somebody walks up and goes, "Hey, I really love the channel. I love your deck list." And I was like, "Oh, what are you playing?" They're like, "Blue Steel," and they like ran off. they messaged me later on Discord, but that was like the first time I really had somebody do that, and it was super cool.
Famous, man.
Nah.
No, I know what you mean though. Like whenever I was, into the Star Wars continuation committee, I mean, it was neat because, like, myself and a few others, we were like the administrators, right, of this, this effort to keep the game alive. And we made fan-made cards, and we worked with, a supplier who would print them out and like sell them and stuff. And obviously everything we did was nonprofit, but like, we just did our best to keep the game alive. And like, there were people who would come up to us and just say, hey, I never got to play my final deck that I worked so hard on because FFG canceled the game. And here you guys are, hosting events at Gen Con, letting me give my deck one, take it off the shelf, give it one last, run. I'm just like, man, that feels great. Thank you for saying that, And so I know that feeling, man. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Chasen, I know that you are in Atlanta and you're around certain pro players all the time. Did you have any experiences, meeting people or anything at the DLC?
Not that I met him at the DLC. I did meet him. I think it was at a Set Champs in Atlanta. But Fungus, I don't know many people. Fungus is a great YouTuber that I watch a lot. I met him at a Set Champs one time. And really down to earth, great player. I think it was the very second day of Set Champs. He's like, I've already want to play him out. And I was like, dude, you are amazing. And I don't know, he's a really good player. He really knows how to. I don't know. All of his lines, he's super tight on. And just every time I watch him play, I feel like I'm already becoming a better player, whether it be on YouTube or whether it be on just in person as well. So Fungus was a great guy in person. And then after that, I saw him actually on my plane back from the DLC. And he was like, dude, what's up? And I was like, dude, are you going with me? And he was like, you know it. But no, he just super down to earth guy. He was a normal person. But it's crazy to see the kind of people you can watch on YouTube and you learn a deck from, I guess. Just is a normal person just like you are. But I met Fungus, and then also my plane back, I didn't get to talk to him. But Baker was on my flight because I think he was going back. I don't know where he was from, but he was on my flight to go back, and everyone was just crowding him because most of us are from the DLC. We played Lorcana, so they were getting cards signed by him. They were just talking to him, and he also just seemed like a really just great down to earth guy. And I think that's one of the things I like about Lorcana the most is that I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and so Yu-Gi-Oh is a completely different community than it is from Lorcana. Yeah. Where it's there's some people that you might meet that's not really the nicest people in the world, but for the majority, the Lorcana people that you meet, whether it be in DLC, whether they're just starting players, or whether they're all the way top pro players, everyone's super down to earth, everyone's super super nice, and it's all worth it talking to them.
Yeah, I'd agree with that because, I didn't go into it in the intro, but I also have some experience with Magic and some other TCGs. And yeah, I have felt in general, with Lorcana, I've felt an overall sense of more kindness up front, at least.
Absolutely.
So I get what you're saying with that completely. So, and just like any TCG, you're going to have some people that are going to get salty after a loss. I'm guilty of it a lot. It happens. But at the end of the day, people are generally pretty chill. And that is Absolutely. One thing I like about this game. So,
definitely even after go ahead, I'm so sorry.
I was going to say something about being salty after losses. So, definitely in my experience, since I'm very competitive, sometimes I do get upset when I lose. So I actually had a conversation with Xenilos from Maelstrom, and he began to kind of change that mentality of, instead of being kind of salty about your loss, think about does your deck have the answer to the problem that caused you to lose? And if it does, then it shouldn't be a detriment that you lost, but you just didn't see that answer in time. Mm-hmm. And so I began to really contemplate what he was saying and stuff like that. And so, for example, I lost my win-in for day 2, and I just didn't see the fire of the cannon that I needed to see on turn 1. And if I did, I think the whole game would have been different. So instead of like being upset and salty that I lost, it's more of contemplating and like thinking about it, be like, yo, I just didn't have the answer at the right time. And so that's definitely helped me moving forward. And I'm sure a lot of people, if they talk to Zenulos, R&B, other pro players, they'll begin to learn that there is that form of variance in the game, and it's okay if you lose, and you shouldn't really take it out on yourself for losing.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put that. I also like to say when it comes with the losses too is it's a chance to look back at the game and go, okay, well, did I ink the wrong card here? Did I ink the wrong card here? And not like beat yourself up or punish yourself over it, but actually like learn where that change happened or where that, alternate timeline tree branch happened, right? That canon event, where we can learn from our mistakes and actually like analyze the game and get better. And sometimes, like you said, it's just going to be variance. Sometimes there's nothing that we can do. We didn't have the answer. Our opponent had everything, and that's okay. But that's where we kind of go back to our deck building and everything else. And we should always take everything with a grain of salt and try to be positive and be trying to learn. And that's how we're going to get better as players.
Yeah.
And I will say something that if I've learned anything from playing my past game, which was Yu-Gi-Oh, is that every time I play, no matter like who I play against, like at bigger events or even just for local tournaments, as soon as because we're all going to lose a game now and then, but whenever I do lose a game, I always make sure to ask my opponent, is there anything you specifically saw that I could have done better? And there's so many times where it's like, holy cow, I did not even see that till you said something. And not only does that open your eyes up and make you feel like, okay, at least I learned something even though I lost, but it's also your opponent is like, hey, he's, he wants to get better. And so not only are you getting better, but your opponent is also it's a whole good exchange between the two of you and your opponent.
It's a good life lesson in general,
Yeah.
Self-awareness, just asking for that feedback.
And even that, giving that feedback to people too is, sometimes people will kind of be like, oh, well, you wouldn't have won. I had this, and this, or whatever the case was. But if you can give that constructive feedback to a player who is newer or, struggling or whatever the case is, then what that does is it makes them better, which in turn will force you to be better. So like you're upping the level of your locals, which is going to up the level of everybody's play at once.
Yeah. To piggyback a little bit off of what you just said, Jeff, and also what you said, Jason, I have noticed a lot less of the, I would have had it if this, that I've seen in Magic, and like, not like the Magic, a lot of the Magic community is great, but like I have noticed a lot less of that in this game. But the other thing about what Jason was saying, I'll even like ask my opponent, I'm like, hey, did I do something that made you sigh like in relief? Like, did I do something that made you feel like, okay, I can take advantage of this, or wow, I'm glad they did that because it helps, it's going to let me capitalize. And when you frame it that way, you really find out what that moment was where everything shifted for your opponent in that match. And then you can know, okay, I don't do that again in that situation, right? But like that's a great mentality. Just be like, what did you see me do? What did I do that made the game what action did I take, or what did I do that made you feel like you won the game because of it? If there was any. And sometimes they're like, hey, you just didn't have the answer. I didn't see anything egregious. And then that's also great, because then you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to beat myself up about that, especially when you're sitting across from a really talented player, and you can tell when you're sitting across from good players, just the way they carry themselves, the way they sequence and stuff like that. But
another thing I recommend, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was pretty much done.
Is watch gameplay. It's like when I don't actually have time to play, I will hop on Twitch, YouTube, and I'll find channels like ours that has gameplay. Shameless plug. And I'll just watch gameplay because someone maybe think differently than I do, and they may make different inking decisions or different sequencing, or it may be 100% the same, but then I can watch how different matches play. And I know not everyone learns that way, but if you are somebody who can learn that way, it will help elevate your game even more. Because like I work a job where I work 24-hour shifts, so there's times where like I've got a lot of downtime, times when I don't, but I can't call somebody up and be like, hey, come to the fire station, let's play Lorcana, or bust out a webcam, because at any moment I may have to go. But what I can do is dial up some content and I just said dial up. That's terrible. I can pull up some content.
The AOL screeching noise from my child.
Oh,
What I'm hearing.
No,
I'm getting rotated out again.
I'm just being rotated out. Get him out of here.
Jeff and I are both old. I'm not that far behind you, bro.
I can pull up some content, and I can absorb that, right? Or I get into the Discords and I have conversations, and I look at deck lists and I go, "Ooh, that's an interesting card. Why is that card on this list but not in this one?" So there's all different ways to approach how to get better. We kind of like derailed from Milwaukee, like hard left.
Well, maybe a little bit, yeah, but it's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a lot of people have kind of made their peace with things that have happened and said their piece about things that have happened in Milwaukee and how the event was run. Like, the one thing I will say, just to kind of get us back on the rails, I guess, it's good to see that the feedback from the community has been noted. There seems to be a lot of strides being made to rectify the situation. I really hope to see those followed through with at Richmond. But I will say, like, I'm glad to see that feedback made its way and steps are being taken to improve the experience for players at the next event.
Yeah. So, how are you guys feeling about? I guess we'll transition. So, how are you guys feeling about the Whispers meta at the moment? Because we're kind of early into it. We've had a handful of events, but how are you guys feeling about it?
I'm personally loving it. I definitely think this is the most fun I've probably had with Blurple. I know I don't see a lot of people really playing it. Okay, well, but I definitely think from set 9 Fable to this set, Blurple has just got a whole lot more fun. I don't know. It's just, I really like Blurple. Blue still looks really good. I know all you guys are happy that Blue still is amazing right now. I am too. I mean, it's a deck that has always been good since the beginning, and it's never had that little oomph to make it to the top 1 best deck.
Well, we got there for 3 weeks, and they were
3 weeks, and then they said it was too good. It was too good. But no, Blue still looks really good right now. It definitely seems like a diverse format, which is great. I love seeing all these different decks, all these different ways to play a deck. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm really enjoying this meta currently.
I think it's one of the healthiest metas we've had. There was an event yesterday, I don't remember the name, but some of the South Florida people were talking about it, and they were like, the meta breakdown was like 9 blue steel, there was like 9 red purple, 9 blurple, 9 purple steel, 9 green blue, there was a handful of red purple, a handful of green purple, and it's like a few amber steel. And this is the first time the meta in a while has been this diverse. Yeah. And so it finally gives more colors to shine again. So, for example, we've seen Blurple win in this meta. We've seen Blue Steel win in this meta. Red Purple won a CCQ today. Green Blue won a big event the other day. So it's like there's an opportunity for each deck and each pilot of their desired color to really shine during this time.
It's almost like the colors are a little more balanced now with set 10, and variance and skill gap is what is determining outcomes. It's great that there's not like 3 decks that are just kind of the busted thing to play,
Right.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. That's actually amazing to hear. That breakdown is so diverse, because I haven't seen one that diverse in a long time.
And I will also say, like, all the decks that I've seen so far, typically depending on people's play style, it's like, oh, that looks fun to play, that doesn't really look too fun to play. It seriously looks like most decks that I've seen genuinely looks fun to play. Like even green yellow Circle of Life, it looks so fun, and I've never been a fan of green yellow in my life, but it definitely seems like everything is becoming not just more balanced, but a lot more fun for the players as well. So definitely good things coming.
Yeah, and I think with that level of diversity too, there's a lot of archetypes within a given pairing, right? Like with Circle of Life, right? It's either that or maybe it's like more traditional promo dogs. And all these different, and with Blurple even, there's probably the more traditional Blurple, and then now maybe there's some Blurple items, and so there's just so many permutations of these different ink pairings. And so for me, like the question that I'm still trying to figure out in this meta is, do I play Pete or do I not play Pete? I'm like, I just don't know yet, man. Every time I put him in my deck, I'm like, it feels like safe. It's like a safety net, but then it just always feels so darn underwhelming. But it's just nice to know that he's there. I don't know. Yeah. I'm torn.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's a 3/3 that can challenge in, right? But like, I don't know. I get what you're saying, because like I feel like in certain matchups, like blue-green, you're just like, okay, I'm just delaying the inevitable here. Like, I'm not really like or like they've already got damage on stuff, and then you just go, okay, I'm just gonna play Philip because he's not in action. Like it just is what it is, right? So, but Steel Song's coming back. Like, people are trying to make that work. Ruby Steel Song is a thing. So I wouldn't say Pete's out, but he just may not be as pivotal as he used to be when we had to play around B preps and all those big actions that were problematic in the past.
I never thought I'd see the day.
I will say this. I'd be cool if we were just Infinity only, but the current format is better than the last format.
I have to be honest. I have no interest in Infinity. I just don't. I just can't. I have no interest in that format.
Brother, I kind of was like, I want to play just to play, Hiram again once or whatever. But after playing the Infinity event in Milwaukee, I was like, this is so much fun. Mm-hmm. Like, that really sold me on Affinity. And I feel like a lot of people are probably going to have the same reaction with the Affinity weekends that's coming up in December for people to earn the whole new world promo at their LGS.
I did sign up for that, for the promo. Yeah.
We'll have to see how you feel after that.
Touche. Fair enough.
Definitely. And I think it was definitely smart to... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I think it's definitely smart to do that Infinity event, because I've seen the polls. I've seen a lot of people just say, why do Infinity right now when Core Constructed, there's everything focused on Core Constructed. But I definitely see in the future, starting with the Infinity events for the LGSs, after that, I think people will realize, like even me, because I really have no interest in Infinity, but I'm sure once I play the format, once I see the deck, once I pick up Green Steel again, like the old times, it not only is it going to be fun, but it's going to be nostalgic. I think it's going to be good, and I think it's going to be a good thing for all of us to enjoy it.
There were tears rolling down my eyes in Milwaukee when I played my first Fortispear.
the spear that caught the stray. Yeah.
Oh man.
But the other thing too is, after Richmond, our next DLC is Infinity format. Mm-hmm. So I think what you're going to see is, you're going to see a big shift from Core Constructed to Infinity format, I think, as whole, as players get ready for Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think
it's at 12 for Infinity too. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. So we could have like Buzz and Woody in our decks, and it's going to be
Darkly.
See, that's the thing. And I think people, when they think of Infinity, they think, oh, it's just going to be like playing against the old Green Steel discard deck and the old Steel Song deck again. And it's like, I don't think people are putting it together. It's like, no, we have new cards on top of all those old.
No, there's just more power.
There's more power than we had before. Like, it's going to be really crazy to play. And so I think once people see the mix of the new with the old, rather than just go, oh yeah, that's the old format, but why would I want to focus on that? Like, I think once people put the two together, they'll go, oh yeah, this is fun. I mean, there's definitely a big difference between like standard and modern in MTG. Like, I think it's going to feel that way too, and people are going to like playing it once they start trying it.
Man, I thought for sure we were about to get a Buzz Lightyear reference there, but it never came. It never came.
I'd personally be fine if Bucky was unerrated for Infinity.
I agree with that.
Yes,
I agree with that.
Oh, please!
Please. I feel like
not even that good. It's not even that good anymore.
Like, Infinity should be like this magical format where like you can really like build your deck to your theme of your heart's content. You can play all the cards. You can have all the power. But sometimes things happen, and not that we're ever going to get in a minute that something was wrong or maybe too heavy-handed. But I will say this: in Japan, only Hiram was banned, not Hiram and Fortisphere.
Yeah, I did see that.
So we all know from experience that if Fortress Spear had not been banned, Blue Steel would not have taken that hit that it took. It would not have been so bad.
It wouldn't have been like a 50% meta share to like a 0.4%.
Yeah.
And it's just us.
Yeah,
right.
Just you guys. Yeah.
They chopped that.
So I don't know if you saw me kind of looking around. I was trying to see if it was close. I have a binder. I have a Bucky binder, and it's all the pre-Armada Buckies. I just started grabbing them up, and I'm like, one day, I'll do something with these. I never played Green Steel when it was in its height, though.
You missed peak.
As a Sapphire Steel player, I was fine with people playing Green Steel Disc, Emerald Steel Disc.
Jeff was whooping me. Jeff was whooping me.
Oh, if they didn't rip your grab your swords, yeah, it was like pretty good matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, even pre Bucky though, we just ran an Avalanche or two. Ursula ain't taking that.
Yeah.
That's getting rid of that Cove and that Bucky, and then at that point, you're free to do whatever you want.
Yeah, Avalanche was such a good tech card for that deck.
You heard it here first. Hot set 4 tech card Avalanche for Sapphire Steel.
Well, it also hit Queen's Castles, which was the huge issue in Wolfer.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Actually, funny story about Avalanche is the set 4 meta, the CCS event. And, we played the main event Saturday. I didn't do well, and like the next day I was like, man, I really got like the Queen's Castle plus the Buckies on the Cove. Pulling my grab your swords like really got me. We're sitting in the hotel room and I was like, guys, I'm putting 2 Avalanche in this deck this morning. And Josh and Gabe and all them, they were like, don't do it. It's a terrible card. Don't do it. Well, I ended up getting paired against my buddy Gabe in like round 3. He's playing red purple. He plays down Queen Castle, Avalanche, and then he's like, wait, all my other stuff is in Tink Swords range now. And I was like, yeah. And then I eliminated him from the tournament. So it's just kind of a funny story.
I'm glad you specified from the tournament.
Yes, not for life. I didn't banish him. He didn't get rotated.
You didn't get sent to the Shadow Realm? Oh, that's a different TCG. Oh, sorry.
He didn't get errated.
Oh, that's it. That's the equivalent in Lorcana, getting errated. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about a little bit. Why don't we look at some deck lists from this weekend?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go for it.
So I kind of pulled some deck lists from 2 events. There were a lot of events that went on this weekend. The first one was the Gulf Coast Challenge. It was streamed a little bit on Twitch because if you're looking for Lorcana Talk content this weekend, it was one of the few things being streamed. Let me pull this up here. It was a PPG qualifier for PPG Orlando. So this was the 6th place deck at this event. There were only 32 players, but this was still the 6th place deck.
Out of how many players?
32.
Okay, 32.
Seeing
Ruby Steel. Okay.
Ruby Steel, seeing that perform feels like poetic justice for all the Ruby Steel players in the world. I love, as much as I've never played it, I know a lot of people who love this deck and they're like diehard fans, and just it makes me happy seeing this just for those people that love this deck.
The spice that really stands out to me here is the sticky Mickey and the iconic Mickey.
Yeah,
the Mickey Brave Little Prince.
Yeah, that's well, and you've got the Challenger 2 one as well, the 2-drop.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. No, that's honestly really great. You get that aggressive quester pretty reliably. Also,
only 3 docks. Man, that's pretty wild. I guess you got some Goliath in there.
Yeah. I also I'm actually a 3-dock person. I feel like I don't want to see him every time I mulligan my hand. Like, I don't want him on turn 2 typically. But 3 is enough to see him when I need to see him mid game.
There's also the Queen of Hearts. Okay, I see.
That's
we can draw with the Queen.
Yeah, so Ruby Steel had some card draw issues, so they kind of were like, what cards they draw? Let's get Doc in here. Let's get Goliath, Queen of Hearts, Medallion Weights.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting seeing only one Maui Shark. I know that's a card, so I'd never personally play red, but I know playing against red a lot. Maui Shark is definitely a big boy that's hard to get rid of. So seeing one of is crazy to me, but it probably works. But one of Maui Shark, cool.
Yeah, I would expect more with Next Stop, to be honest, because that's a combo right there, right? If you can keep him swinging. But I guess if we have characters that can challenge ready characters, and we just use it on those.
Fair enough.
Well,
No,
yeah,
Hercules. That the one that
prevents damage
essentially doesn't
here.
take damage. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I do like the Thanos Mulan. The inevitable, the 4-drop uninkable, the one that is reckless.
Oh, yeah.
During your turn, they're evasive, and they can challenge ready characters. That Mulan is an inevitable into your board if you don't remove it.
When you look at that card, like a lot of times you're like, okay, whatever. It's like a 3/3, okay, sure. But when someone plays against you, you're like, wait, how do I deal with this? Wait,
And you
hold
have
on.
to.
I don't like having to deal with this. Like, I can't just hide behind my stone wall here where I don't turn sideways,
I'm also noticing only 3 Strength of Raging Fire. I've never seen anybody run less than 4, but it worked.
You haven't been around on the Discords lately.
I guess I haven't. Man,
Oh,
y'all been cooking
Oceans
up
is
something
laughing.
with only 3 strength.
I'm not gonna lie, playing today, I was like, strength didn't really do much for me today.
Man.
I did ink all my strings today, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
I think I sang
Oh.
1 and then inked the rest.
The Maleficent Dragon's interesting. So I guess they were expecting Sapphire to be around and to ramp them because it's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
tough to get up to 9.
That or they're expecting a stalemate on the board.
But they have enough shifts that they are getting to 9 ink in a lot of games where they're getting controlled out. So I don't, and it's also inkable. So like worst case, you ink it, right?
That's a good point. Like if they shift to Floodborne and then gets Hades,
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
that's a good point.
Makes
It looks
sense.
fun though, for sure.
Looks super great. I mean,
I would
see a little
definitely.
more of this.
Yeah, I'm happy to see different color pairings that are a little unusual pop up.
Ruby Steel is due, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Ruby still definitely
and,
needs
and they got
attack.
and they got 6th place. They cooked.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely seeing that.
Congrats.
So this is the
Oh, yeah.
winner of the Gulf Coast Challenge.
There.
Oh,
it is.
okay.
Baja Blast.
So this is not what we've been seeing from our Shimrolled list, as I like to call them, Shimrolled or Baja Blast.
What's that song at the bottom?
Heflumps and Woozles?
Wait, it's Heffalumps, yeah. Is this
No, the one to the left. Of
Oh,
Heffalump.
that's the action Night Howler Rage. It's it gets you draw a card and give Reckless, I think, to
Yeah. Draw a card and give Reckless during character head game Reckless during next turn. So we see the PP combo, right? So the PP combo's in here, the Prince Philip combo.
Do we have to call it the PP combo?
It's Prince Philip.
Interesting.
That's his initials. That's his
yeah.
initials.
The
His initials are Prince Philip.
All right.
So we have the PP combo here, which a lot of the green decks are including, but they seem to have an alternate game plan here. Besides Prince Philip and Mean Malicious Carry, because if you haven't seen that yet, I'm sure you will at some point at your local LGS.
Yep.
But what they're going to do is they're going to play the small Prince Philip, then they're going to sing Mean Malicious Carry, and then shift the big one out, which damages, banishes all damaged characters. But what it seems to be is this deck seems designed to stall your opponent until the combo can come. Because we have so many cards in here that give Reckless, or have Ward, or are stripping cards out of your opponent's hand.
Prince Philip being Ward, the baby one, is so much bigger than I thought it would ever be when I first saw that card. But that card being Ward, super great. And I think that's why the combo really works as great as it does, is because like the Prince Philip's going to sit there until you can find something to get rid of it, really. And it's super hard to get rid of. So I mean, I definitely feel like that combo, I know some people feel I guess some people feel it's kind of slow, but for me it may be slow, but it's got to be effective, because what are you going to do against that Prince Philip to make sure it doesn't shift?
Yeah.
We don't have Gravity Swords anymore.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the reason that because like those two Phillips existed in the meta before, but I think back when we had a meta that played a lot of like Ruby, and you had stuff like B King in the meta and things like that.
Swords.
In swords, yeah, it couldn't get away with it, right?
Yeah.
But now it can, because those things don't exist anymore. So it's very interesting to see that. And who knows, maybe Ruby will make a comeback. I know it's kind of starting to, like the Ruby Steel list, And there was a red purple list that did well too. You guys had mentioned, but it'll be interesting to see what happens to this combo when Ruby comes back.
I think I really like this deck. Like looking at it more and more, like it's there's several cards that give Reckless. You've got some big bodies with ward cards that gives ward to your other characters. Ursula stripping cards out of their hand. You've got Dig with Develop, Sail, Vision. You also have Hypnotic Deduction, so you can dig a little bit deeper for those common pieces. Like I honestly think this might be like the best blue Sapphire Emerald build I've seen yet.
Seems super fun. Definitely worth a shot if you've been like on the edge of, do I try Baja Blast or not? I think this is definitely a good one to just at least try out, just to put your toes in the water. It seems like a great deck to try out. Honestly, I might even try it out. I mean, it just would be fun.
Goof to buy back the Heffalumps and Woozles, which keep your opponents from questing. So like you're keeping them from questing or gaining lore until you can get that combo off.
He also grabs Mean and Scary back, so you can do the Philip combo again.
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing with this list is there's no Clarabelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. You cut the Clarabelle, it opened up room for all these other pieces.
Mm-hmm. You've got Hypnotic Deduction and Heffalumps and Woozles drawing you cards now, and you still have Vision in there. Like this is the thing I like about this deck is it doesn't just sit and wait for the Philip combo to go off. It's doing other things.
It's more proactive, yeah. I mean, it's got Alice and Goofy. Mm-hmm. It's warding up your stuff. Plus, it just has the Scuttle, who's got natural ward. So it's interesting.
And something else I will say, like for like not really, I guess, beginner players as well, but people who are looking for a price effective deck who don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on cards. This deck looks pretty inexpensive between the John Silver having the reprint. That's like the only legendary in the whole deck? I mean,
it looks like it actually. Yeah,
this deck seems like a super good deck just to dabble your toes in the meta. Try to just, if you want to get better, this seems like a really good deck to start with for price wise and for meta wise. Definitely.
Yeah. Congrats to this player. Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, cool list. Very
Gulf
cool.
Coast was just kind of cooking.
Yeah.
All right, so this is also from the Gulf Coast. This is number 8.
That's a lot of locations.
Whoa, Greensteel, going fishing. I got to give it to this deck for the name. That's amazing.
I love this.
Oceans, I know you love locations. What do you think?
It is.
Always turn around to the side to see what they are.
Yeah, so I remember I had a local who's like, locations are the most fun. So we made them a green steel list. And now seeing that it has viability in the meta, it definitely punishes a lot of decks because they have to challenge and really open up their board. So instead of them questing and progressing their game state, you put them in a lock, especially when you have your John Silver, that 3-drop.
And they've got the Illuminary tunnels that does the same thing.
They really have to think differently to start clearing those locations to really get back in the game.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this deck.
Dude, this makes my heart happy.
Yeah,
I love it.
I actually I'm very jazzed to see a deck like this. I want to point out, I think what's really nice, this 2 of the John Silver that stops the challenging with the location, all the locations in the deck. Like that's pretty slick. I do like that.
Yeah, this is spicy. I love seeing spice. Personally,
no. I love seeing this list. This is not what I mean by I don't want to see this. I don't want to sit down and my opponent go ink and go play hidden cove.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you meant. Like you don't want to sit across from this. Yeah.
No, I personally want to see you go against this, Jeff.
Maybe we'll film it for the channel.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm gonna have to build a deck with a bunch of Billy Bones and Cuscos and Simbas.
Yeah, right. Because you don't have Zeus anymore. Hurl doesn't hit locations.
Yeah, it doesn't have locations.
Yeah, this is a cool list. I like the fishing pole to bounce the docks and go-go's back to your hand for value too.
So good.
One of them might be good into this. Ducks with a support.
Oh, the duck.
I mean, Purple Steel should also do very good. They have a very good set of overstated early bodies.
Yeah, you can't really play locations against Purple Steel, right? When they got their whole Calhoun,
Yeah, it's kind of
Lexington. I like the Pluto here with lots of steel characters gaining lots of lore just by challenging. Calhoun kills something or banishes something, gain 4. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot of synergy here. This is one of those decks that will definitely catch you off guard when you sit down and you've been prepping for everything else.
Jeez,
Absolutely.
the Pluto with the Calhoun is gross too. I don't know.
It's so good.
I don't know if someone said that while I was muted and addressing something off camera, but that's really nice. A lot of steel characters in this deck to capitalize off that Pluto. That's really cool.
I mean, they're running 16 locations.
Yeah.
So, and they have the John Silver that gains a lore and resist for every location, and they also have the location that does the same thing. Like,
Yep.
I will say, like,
this can get out of hand really quickly.
Absolutely. Some people, I think some people thought locations were going to die. They were like, oh, Lorcana's done with locations, this and that. This deck just proves the power of locations and that, it can be fun and we can play locations and have a good time.
And you can't discount them. You gotta prepare for them.
Actually, you can discount them with the Illuminary title.
Oh.
It discounts them.
Got him. Got him. Detective.
You know what?
I got him.
That was pretty good. That was pretty fun. That was pretty funny.
Pretty sure, yeah. Well, you have a character here. One less to play locations.
Oh, man.
Free Cove.
Yeah, Free Cove.
Free Cove. That's silly.
Okay, everybody forget you saw this. Next slide.
Oh, hold on. I was trying to screenshot it. All right, fine.
This is the winner of SSG Con in Las Vegas that just ended today. It's a CCQ. Ruby Amethyst is back.
Okay.
Wow. I like this list a lot.
It looks really solid. Wow.
Oh, I see someone pulled from Frank Karsten with the one of Timothy questionable mouse. I love that.
I have to say the one thing with Red Purple is this Horseman card. If Red Purple becomes more dominant in the meta, it's making our Blue Steel Vincenzo look a lot worse. That's for sure.
Yeah, welcome back, Madame Medusa, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say one thing with me looking at it. I know some people have been on the fence on like Cheshire Cat or Belle. What do y'all think about that?
I don't know that they have been. I think it's been pretty I think the Cheshire just pushed her out. Unless you're well, maybe you play both. I don't know, but it seems like the Cheshire Cat is like objectively just more flexible and just got continued activations.
I think there's some players who are just afraid to let go of the Bell, so they're running both. But I think the Cheshire Cat is just a better card.
Yeah, I can imagine not playing Bell.
Yeah, it's tough. But like there are a lot of good 5-drops now though. Like the Ursula and the Headless Horseman. So being able to get the effect of Bell off of a repeatable thing you can do every turn, and then you can bounce that card back to your hand and net more cards. Because we are seeing cards that bounce things back in Purple or Amethyst right now. So, yeah, Cheshire Cat's probably in a vacuum my favorite card from the set. It just does so much.
It does, yeah.
You can swing in and then boost it and clear something else. It's incredible in the aggro matchup. Just a great card. So, not surprised to see it as a 4 of in here.
Super solid. All the lists we're looking at is super solid.
There's only 11 uninkables in this.
Yeah.
Nope. I lied. I did math wrong. There's 13 uninkables here.
Okay.
Well, still, I mean, it's a healthy amount of uninkables. Man.
Well, they never come back. Gives them that Elsa effect and draws a card, and it's also inkable, and so then it costs a lot less. So they're not having to play those big Elsas.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get the exert, but you keep things tapped down, or exerted. So, like, still good. Still really good.
And that one of Hercules seems pretty good, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of heroes on the deck. The Whisper Ursula is actually pretty good as well. She costs 5, she boosts 1, and then she gains +1 lore, which makes her a 3-quester, and then evasive. So now you've got a 4/5 that's evasive questing for 3.
Damn.
Yeah.
super spicy.
Yeah, so you can just boost her and eat genies or what have you. Like,
And they have Diablo.
mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
Smeablo.
Smeablo, love it.
This deck can also just like quest for a lot. You know, I mean, it's got, aside from its 1-drops, it's got 2 questers it can play on 2 questers it can play on 3 and 4 and 5. Like, it can just quest for a lot.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good.
Seems fun as well. Man, there's so many things I want to try out. Everything just looks so fun. And that's what I love about this meta, is that everything just looks super fun and it's super good to try out.
Ocean's thoughts?
Just an observation, and going forward with all the viewers and their deck choices, purple is very strong, and we're at a time where direct targeting actions are very low. So Yago's coming back, and he's an absolute menace.
Yep.
He big menace.
And like, especially with these decks where with those actions being a lot lower, he's a more consistent 4/6 body that sticks around, that allows the Cheshire Cat to really get tons of value, the Dumbo, draw tons of cards off of that. It's just a very good body right now. And it's definitely something to look forward to in your deck building, is being on the eye for those Yagos.
Absolutely. I will also say with me, just like you said, the Yagos, I completely forgot about Yago until now. And Blurple, you know, I think most of us took out our hypnotic strengths. And that was one of our cards that got rid of Iago. We're like, all right, we're chilling, like, cool, big bird, what's it going to do? But looking now at it, that staring at me, there's taking out hypnotic strengths is definitely something that we have to be wary of, because even though it's only draw 1 card, challenger +2, I think that's what it is, I don't remember, but it's a card that got rid of Iago at the end of the day, and us taking it out just because there's better cards, we got to be very wary of that.
It's interesting because you can tell they were thinking about that somewhat with They Never Came Back, because like the thing is, you can use that and you can pop 2 of those, right? You can pop 2 illusions and draw a card. But something I just noticed, there are 2 actions in 3 locations, and everything else in this deck is a character. So it really is just putting pressure down with quality questers and evasive threats.
It also makes one of the hyped cards in the meta, the Headless Horseman, a lot worse.
Yeah, because Steel Headless Horseman.
The steel one you're talking about.
Yes, the steel one.
Yeah.
So as decks go lower on actions, those decks would have to depend on their own actions for those big hits, right? But there's only 2 hits in this deck for that. It also lessens Mowgli value, right? Mowgli is, you reveal your hand and you choose a non-character card. Well, this is kind of feeling like the old Ruby Amber Mufasa list, where it was like 90% characters, and the idea was to get big questers down and just go fast.
Yeah, like my favorite thing about playing Steel Faucet at our locals back in the day, Jeff, you know it. I'd sit there and someone would go Ursula, and I'd be like, cool, I don't care. You're not changing what I'm doing, and you're not getting anything out of my hand. Like, because everything in the deck was a character. And it's nice to, like, people can be like, yeah, well, it's just like a really simple way to play is just flood the board. But like, honestly, like, if it works, it works. You know?
Yeah. I guess we'll move on to the next one. Hey, it's the number 2 list from Vegas.
Wow. Very similar.
Man.
Very similar, but some differences. Hold on.
More.
We did not have the Hades in the previous list either.
No.
So personally, I played with Magical Maneuvers at Milwaukee, and that card I teched it in. I've never played with it prior, but that card, it seems like all it does is exert and bounce. But that card, when you're needing it, it's one of the best cards ever. And it really helped a lot in my Milwaukee. And so I can only imagine what it can really do here, honestly. So I'm glad to see Magic Maneuvers still having a little bit of love going in a set 10.
So very, very similar ideas here. But, a couple differences. Like they've got the Hades, the Magical Maneuvers. They're running more Hercules.
More protection and more removal,
a pretty nasty combo is to get the Hercules down on 4. It also comes in, turns something sideways on 5. Both Hercules and Elsa trade in and take no damage. It's pretty gross.
Nice.
But we're gonna keep moving on. So before we run out of time,
Oh, here we go.
Oceans, talk to me about this list.
It's spicy. Look at that Olaf.
Love Olaf.
So, for those who are unfamiliar with Olaf, when he dies, you can bounce something back to your hand, and you'll notice there's only 2 docks. So, normally Purple Steel has a lot of 1, 2s, and 3 cost characters, and towards the late game, you can really start to chain stuff. You like play your dock, and you can get a couple 2 and 3. So, in a single turn, you could play potentially 3, 4 characters. And so it's very aggressive in allowing you to quest or get your strengths large enough to take out big threats. But this one's interesting because for a couple weeks in this meta, Yzma's kind of been on the lower end with the uptake of the hurls, and of course strength's been in the meta. There's more removal for Yzma, but this deck clearly is choosing to use her because she still is a very good draw engine. Similar to once she gets 1 activation, you draw those 3 cards and you can just flood the board again, and it's super successful. What I am curious about is the bringing of Pete's. Earlier in this podcast, Meja was like, Pete is one of those questionable characters if you want it or not. He was very good and like on the draw with Purple Steel as well as Amber Steel last meta, but now this meta is a lot different. I'm curious on how impactful this Pete was, or if the player in the future is choosing to remove that for some other character.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Goliath here, Tempest, in the Purple Steel list?
He's, from a Blue Steel perspective, it's a lot different because we use it generally on turn 4 to disrupt our opponent's hands. This deck is utilizing it to its full potential to continue pushing those threats each turn, because you're going to probably double and triple spell each turn, and that Goliath is that consistent dock that's constantly refueling your hands, giving you the tools you need to really win that game and lock your opponent out.
So, just some inside baseball, we're asking Oceans what he thinks, because Oceans played a lot of Amethyst Steel last set during the Fabled meta. I did play something similar like this today at locals. Not quite the same. I don't believe they had Olafs. They didn't have Madam Elephants, but they had a Lexington down at one point, and they had 2 cards in hand, and they had used all their ink to play Hades. They had actually quested with their Lexington prior to this, so I let them draw the cards. So then their Lexington was just null and void for a turn.
Because the Stone by Day effect was
Stone by Day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they actually went to Reddit at the start of their turn, and I was like, no, that's sideways.
Oh.
I was able to trade, so I was able to trade into the rest of their board and not take care of the Hades and not have to worry about the Lexington at all, and basically got a free turn of trading and then questing.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely something to be aware of, right? And playing in paper, it's like you gotta make sure you follow the rules with Stone by Day.
There's something else with this list, is there's no Dumbos. So with the addition of Lexington, Genies came out. With the addition of the Black Heron, the Smees or Jafars came out. Mm-hmm. And Happy isn't really seen either. So with really your only evasives in the deck being Genie, Dumbo, and Elsa, and even Elsa being a reduced cost, that Dumbo's really not necessary. So that's definitely why the Yzma and the Goliaths are in this list. And it allows you to build to the ground more and not really have to deal with the evasives.
Yeah.
So this was a top 8 list, by the way.
There's a top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, to piggyback Oceans on what you were saying, it's also allowing them to just play things instead of paying ink to draw into things to play.
Correct.
Because they can just play these cards like Goliath and Yzma to like get that value for free and just use their ink more efficiently. So yeah, this is a really cool list. And I think with seeing cards like Olaf, and all these boost cards, like I'm kind of excited to maybe try some like purple steel or red purple where you're bouncing like you used to with all the mims and stuff, because it's not quite as fast, but you do have the ability now to kind of take these cards, these, you can boost and then bounce the card, and you're effectively drawing extra cards out of nowhere, right? And it'd be interesting to see those things applied, like these boost cards applied with the mims in Infinity. Like I'm actually really excited to test that out and see where that goes.
Well, in this deck, like you only have the one mim, but like I think too, like you could also, there's value here in bouncing your dogs. There's value in your genies and even your cobras, right?
Yeah.
So if I like got an Olaf and I play down a Cobra, discard a card, gain 2 lore, maybe I made 18, I can run my Olaf in, pick my Cobra back up, replay it, discard another card. Now that's GG's.
Yep. Yeah, very good point. There's a lot of like out of nowhere flexible lines you can take with this deck, so I can see why it did well.
Well, Purple Steel's been doing well. So our next deck, so this one is kind of to me the dogs.
The dogs.
I'm not even sure. Delos Moon. I'm reading Delos Moon Lullaby because I didn't remember what it did.
It's
Dogs are good.
Minus
Dogs are good.
Delos Moon Lullaby. It's like a single target painting the roses red, right? It like reduces like strength and draws you a card.
Yeah. So our thoughts on dogs.
I've recently been playing against this deck more and more. And for me, I mean, I'm learning my way around it, but the first few times going against this deck, I was flooded. Like, I was like, what's going on? I mean, the amount of times it was going from, they were getting 20 lore and I was getting 0. I mean, this deck, if you don't pay attention and know how to play against this deck, it'll catch you by surprise. Super good for, I think, also beginner players. Just because you don't have to, I say you don't have to interact much, but a lot of it is,
The lines
watching your
linear.
Exactly. Right? Yes. And it feels super good for newer players, but at the same time, it's fun and they're doing a whole lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things where, like I said earlier, like if you don't watch out, it's going to catch you by surprise and the game's going to be just over before it even started.
Yeah. If you're not sure how to play against that Chromacon, it will catch you.
Yep.
Webby's a great engine, and honestly, Mowgli is my own personal minutes set so far.
Such a good card.
Because it basically allows them to remove so normally like a deck like this, like you're going to get a couple pieces of removal, you're going to try to like kind of play back and forth until you get to a point where you can turn a corner, and Mowgli can shut that down single-handedly by getting rid of your removal pieces or your ramp pieces or whatever have you.
Absolutely. And I don't know about for other people, but I will say for sure, like most of the time when Mowgli's being played, you're only seeing 1 or 2 non-character cards in your opponent's hand. So they're really picking and choosing. And it's just, Mowgli seems like, they get to choose. But no, they they have to choose between 1 or 2 cards. And if they only have 1, non-character card in their hand, it's gone. I really personally like Mowgli a lot.
Biggie heard us talking about dogs and got jealous.
Yeah,
Came
there you go.
Yeah, is that a cat?
Yeah, that's a cat. Yeah.
Talking about dogs. And
this is Biggie Smalls. He is the producer here at Additional Ink Studio. Mm-hmm. He likes to show up on
the starring the cat.
You love Biggie.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Okay, Biggie.
Well, all right.
All right, so we'll move on to our final deck list. Nobody's got anything else about dogs?
Wow, it's super good.
I mean, we could talk about specific lines, but I mean, it's just a good deck. Like, it's
good, inexpensive. I mean, besides, I guess, Lady and the new Webby, legendary, of course, but
yeah,
super good deck for new players. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is just knowing how to play your Chromacon. Like bounce, you can bounce your own stuff back and capitalize on them again. That's a huge thing people need to remember.
Absolutely.
All right, so this next one is a top 16 list. Biggie,
Ooh, okay.
And I picked this one because of its spiciness.
Red Blue is trying to make a comeback. I thought we left it back before, back in rotation.
Yeah, you know, there's definitely some combos here. You got the Headless Horseman with the Sapphire Coil, Medallion Waste for card draw, might solve a mystery to dig out things.
Mushu's Rocket. What does that do again? There's a lot of text on that I don't remember off the top.
When you play this item, chosen character gains a rush this turn, and then you can also pay 2 and banish it to give a character rush.
So you can use it twice to give something rush.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So then you're gonna have
pretty good
double
with Shark.
rush.
Yeah, pretty good with Shark.
I'm not too familiar with the one next to Mushu's Rocket. What does that do?
That is the Ink Runner. When you play this item, you draw a card, and then you can exert it and pay 1 ink to give the character alert.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Sure, evasive answer for sure.
Yeah.
Super good.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of hard removal in this list. There's a lot of dig. Cindy is really good in this. I mean, yeah, of course, Cindy's going to be really good in the red blue list too. This is, I mean, it looks really fun. Looks pretty solid.
So like we're ramping up to Dragon, Hades, and Shark, right? And then we're getting value off Shark, ideally, or allowing our Hades or our Dragons to challenge in with the Ink Runner and Medallion Waste, and we're drawing cards. This is like a deck that can very much is probably going to start off very slow. But it does look like it has the ability to snowball very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked to not see Spooky Sight in here for the aggro matchup.
Yeah, especially because you can get it back with the Shark. I'm actually shocked that there's not 4 Cindy's, because she allows you to play a turn 4 Maui Shark, which seems pretty good.
I think that's because of their Uninkable account, because they're at 16. They're at 19 Uninkables, which is kind of like back set 3, set 4 red blue, where they were mulling just to keep ink.
Yeah. I mean, you're at I see at least 15. Hold on. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did I say 19? It's definitely 15. I said 19. I'm silly.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, because like the Hades, the Horseman, the Sisus, the little Sisus, which I think people have kind of slept on that card. I had some success with it last set. I was playing red purple at locals, and I would get a lot of people. They'd be like, "Cool, I got my turn 2 Tiana," and I'm like, "Sisu."
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked to see it kind of making a comeback. I think people will eventually figure out how to support it. I think Ink Runner definitely gave Ruby Sapphire a little bit more help with the card draw. So yeah, I'm not surprised, but definitely intrigued by some of the inclusions and exclusions in this list. But cool to see it do well.
Yeah, and we're still very early.
It was dead, so nice to see it not be totally dead.
We're still very early on in the meta, and we got CCS coming up soon. We've got Richmond in January, but I think we're good for the evening, guys. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I think so, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, so appreciate all you guys for hanging out and checking out this episode 1 of the Ink Tank 2.93. Or 2.0.
Yeah, there you go.
It keeps increasing.
Again, I'm Jeff here at Additional Ink. Here at Additional Ink, we believe that there's plenty of space to table for everybody and plenty of ink to go around. And as you can see, our family's growing. Thank you, Matt, Majo, Oceans, and Chasen for being part of this reboot and this relaunch. We are going to try to bring this to you on a weekly basis. If we don't quite get in the beginning, don't come after us too hard. We're working on it. We're trying to process schedules, things like that. But you'll see some different faces each week. Instead of trying to have to make sure we have everybody, we want to shoot more for consistency. You can find us on YouTube if you're listening elsewhere, or any other major podcast platform. And please check out the gameplay, like and subscribe. Do you guys have any parting words, any socials you want to share, any shout outs, anything, anybody?
I mean, I'm pretty good. We work on the same channel together, so you pretty much covered us.
You can find all of us in various Disney Lorcana Discords and right here on Additional Ink next time.